Hi, this is John Mulligan. I'm with Search Engine Strategies San Jose 2009, and standing with me here is Lee Evans of Serengeti. Good to see you again, Lee.
Good to see you again, too.
So you were just on a panel on managing social media conversations, yeah?
Yes, and it was a really great panel.
So tell us, how does one manage social media conversations? First, you've got to know what's out there, right?
Right, and you really need to do a lot of research into social media to understand where your audience is and what they're doing. Because if you don't, it's kind of like throwing spaghetti against the wall and hoping something's going to work or something's going to stick. And if you're just putting tactics up there, it's kind of like basically if you're just doing tactics without a strategy, it's kind of like doing nothing at all. So it's really important to take that research, and then with that research you plan a strategy. You define what you're going to measure, what's going to be your success, what's going to be your failure in there. So that's one of the approaches to social media to start to be successful with it.
So you have to go in there knowing what you want to get out of it?
Yes, and you need to, you always need to monitor and measure. And, you measure different things with social media than you do with online marketing. With online marketing and SEO and PPC, you're measuring your hits and your traffic to your site. How many times did somebody click on something and then turn into a purchase? With social media, it's very, very rare that you will get an actual click to purchase. Someone saw your link in a forum and they purchased something. That normally doesn't happen. So you need to measure different things with social media, like influence, intimacy, interaction, and those are just some of the things you need to measure and define. And you measure them in different ways, whether they're commenting on your YouTube video, or they're putting reviews out on your product, or they're writing blog reviews about you. Those are all things that you can measure, but you have to measure them manually, or you have to use monitoring tools to help put that all together.
Now, that's actually a bit of a different perspective than I've been hearing from a lot of other people who have been talking about social media at the conference. They've been saying that you've really got to tie social media to your bottom line, and it seems to me like that's a great idea that's great in theory, but how does one do it?
Well, you still are tying it to your bottom line, but you're looking at it in a different perspective, because you have to look at how it affects your bottom line in a different way, because it's about branding and it's about building relationships. You very rarely get that click to purchase, but you might get a click to purchase maybe 5 steps down the road, that you started that relationship, and then they read your blog, and then they finally look into your product, and then they finally decide, hey, I want to buy it because I heard so much about it. I have this great relationship with this person who's a representative of my brand, and you know what, I really like them. And that's how it builds in social media. So it isn't the quick click to purchase, but eventually, if you have that, and also you look at them being your brand evangelist as well, that's worth its weight in gold. You can't, you're not paying them to be promoting you, and that's like free promotion. So if you have a brand evangelist, that's, what's that to your bottom line? You really have to understand how that affects and influences somebody in a forum, whether they're going to buy or not. So it does affect your bottom line, but it's just in a different way than normal website online marketing traffic does.
I got you. And so, one last question. You're talking about people who have blogs. You're talking about the companies that have blogs. It sounds like managing social media can't be done on a spot basis. It has to be atmospheric. It has to be something that you're breathing in order for it to work, right?
You have to, pretty much build a strategy around it and decide what you're going to do. Because, if you're just starting a blog because your competition has started a blog, that's not a good reason to do it. You really need to know where your audience is so you can build that relationship and eat, breathe, and sleep social media to some degree. But it's all about building that relationship. And as Charlene Lee spoke about in the keynote, she was saying, it's not about the keywords, it's about the relationships that you build. And that is so true in social media, because people in these communities really hate marketers. So if you come in here with your marketing message, they're going to be like, get out of here. So you really need to understand that it's about building that relationship, and it takes time to do that, and it takes money to do that. It's not quick and easy. Just because Twitter is free to have an account on, it doesn't mean that it's free to implement a strategy, because you have to pay somebody to sit there and Twitter for you or to build those relationships.
And you're not just sort of talking one way and then acting another, because how many photos have you uploaded so far at the conference?
Right. Well, I have them all to go up there for the conference, but before that I have thousands of pictures out in my Flickr account, so, and lots of videos too. So
You should see her walking around the conference. Lee's crazy with her camera.
Yes, I'm the girl with the camera.
The unofficial documentress. Yes. Thanks so much, Lee.
Thank you.
And we look forward to hearing more from you at future conferences.
Of course.
And stay tuned for now for more from this show at SES San Jose 2009.